friends, welcome back to the Francescan Disorder. Oh my gosh, I feel like it's echoing. I don't know why this room, there's always an echo in this room. Also, if you can hear any sound in the background of this video, please ignore. Hopefully you can't really hear any sound. I don't think I really hear any sound coming in from where it should be coming in from, but the washing machine is on and my husband is watching rugby, so if you hear any sound, just ignore that and listen. Anyway, welcome back to the Francescan Disorder. And if you've just been a friend, thank you for being a friend. And yeah, if you've just bumped into me for the first time, please consider being a friend by subscribing. We got there in the end. We really did get there in the end. Okay, I'm gonna film this video if this t-shirt is going to let me. It's not letting me be great. It just always goes up and stays like that. You should also ignore that. Okay, so this video is a story time, as you can tell by the title. And if you like to see how I almost got kidnapped as a child, keep on watching, relax and keep on watching. So let's get into this story. I don't want it to be very long, but I tend to talk too much. My story time videos are like very, very long. All my videos are really long. I want to say I'm trying to not talk too much, but I'm already talking too much right now. So I'm trying to not talk too much in my videos and like keep them short and sweet, but it's not very possible because I'm a talkative. So I mean, if you suffer through my videos for as long as I talk, you're the real MVP. Okay, so this story is set in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Nigeria. We already know this. We already know that is where I was born and raised. That is where I was made. I was made in Port Harcourt. Okay, it's set there in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Nigeria. And this story, I don't know if the other person involved, who is my brother, still remembers, because I'm 2 years older than my brother, and we were very young at the time. I think I must have been 7 or 8 at the time. I was either 7 or 8 years old. More like, I don't know, I'm leaning more towards 8 years old than 7. Yeah, 8. I think I was 8 at the time, because I'm trying to remember, like figure out exactly the time when this happened. Yeah, I think I was 8 years old at the time, because yeah, my brother had just gotten into primary 1 or something like that, and I must have been in primary 3. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's correct. I was in primary 3, because this was around the time when I kind of went backwards in school, and then my dad like made me a promise that if I came back to where my position used to be, I was going to do common entrance from primary 4 and go to secondary school earlier, because I really wanted to go to secondary school. Before, let the talkative begin. Before I was like of school age, I used to want to go to school. I used to cry to go to school, and then they put me in school before I was of school age. I went to school at 1, like a few months after my first birthday. I went to school, and then when I was in school, like I was in primary school, and then I used to disturb, like I just wanted to be in secondary school. I think maybe maybe it shows the kind of person I am. I'm always looking for the next thing. Like I just get bored really easily. I just want the next thing. Okay. So yeah, it was the year when I didn't do very badly. I used to come between first and third position in primary school. So I think in this time I must have gone third position, 3rd or 4th. I'm going to look because I have all my report cards from primary school as well with me. So I'll just look at what it was at the time. I was in I must have been in primary 3, which makes me think I was 8 years old at the time. And to help with me picking up and doing better in school, my dad said if I did better than I did the last term, he was going to send me to I was going to take common entrance, secondary school common entrance at primary 4, which is what I wanted, and he was going to let me go to secondary school. So to help with me doing better and doing like what he wanted, like, you know, being first position, because the people that took first don't have two heads according to all African parents. Yeah, to help with that, he signed up me and my brother up for extra classes, like after school classes, which was our school was very close to our house. The school that me and my brother went to was just opposite our house. Like, we just used to come out of the road and cross school. But the place that he signed us up for this extra class, that happens as well. The place that he signed us up for these extra classes was like a bit far from our house. A bit far. It was quite a distance from our house. Like, even if they were going to take us there and drop us there, it was not walkable. Take us there and then come back to pick us up, it wasn't walkable. So if you've heard my story, it was just next to a family friend, my older sister's friend's house. Like, the place for the lesson was the way my house is to my school. The place for the we used to call it lesson because it was like after school classes. So we had like my school held lesson, because like my school had after school classes, which some people didn't pay for. So we paid for, my dad paid for that one for us to be in that one, and then he paid for us to have extra one. So like we didn't have a break as kids. Okay, so the place for the lesson is just like the way my house is to my school, just also opposite my oldest sister's friend's family house. So sometimes my oldest sister used to go and like drop us at this place for the lesson and wait for us in her friend's house, and because the lesson was like 1 or 2 hours long, I think 2 hours long, so she'll wait for us at her friend's house, and then we'll go there to go and meet her, and then she will take us home. And then sometimes it was like other people coming to drop us there. But I remember that when we had breaks, we used to always like cross over and go to my older sister's friend's house, and they knew my sister there, so they knew us as well. Like, they were just like, we'll play with the kids there and then come back to the lesson. Like, that's how we used to, me and my brother. I really wonder if my brother remembers this. But yeah, so that's how the dynamics was. Anyway, we were going to these after school classes until one day, what had happened that day was, I wasn't an adult then, so I'm not sure even how the adults made plans, but more often than not, it was my dad's assistant that used to come and pick us. So he was the one that used to like take us there and then pick us back up more often than not, but my sister sometimes used to do that and then stay in her friend's house. Anyway, back to the story. On this day, we went to, the classes as per normal, and then the class is finished. Normally, we used to, like, before we finished the classes, there was someone always there to pick us. If it was my sister, then she wouldn't even bother to come and pick us. She just knew that when we finished the classes, we would just come to her friend's house and then she would take us home. But just normally, there was always someone there to pick us. But on this day, we finished the classes. Oh, actually, on the same street as well, another friend of my sister's. Now, this friend was not just of my oldest. Actually, the other friend is not just the oldest sister's friend, but I think we knew this friend through the oldest sister. Like, in my family, if you're friends with me, more than likely you'll be friends with the family as well. My family is like that. Like, we are very friendly people. We're very friendly people. So there was another friend. I think this other friend, we know this friend. This other friend is a guy, and we know him through my immediate elder sister. I'm not sure where we know him from. It might be my oldest sister, but I think he's more my immediate older sister's friend than my oldest sister's friend. I hope you're not getting confuzzled with all of this. Yeah, so this other friend lives like down the road or up the road from the school where we were having these after school classes, but not very far away. He just lived a few blocks up the road. I think also when my older sister and this other friend has like, in fact, they both have younger siblings, as young as me and my brother. So it was almost like when we whichever of my sisters took us there. If it was my if it was my dad's assistant, it was never we didn't used to really go there. But if it was my oldest sister or my immediate older sister, or even any of my sisters, they'll just take us to their friend's house to have like a mini play date with the kids there as well, and then we'll go home. So I knew these two houses, but these two houses, like, they were an option to go to. And me at 8 years old, I knew these two houses. So like, I'm just saying that I'm just giving you, backstory a bit, just so that you get it. So yeah, on this particular day, we finished the classes as per normal. So I don't know the plans. How many times have I said so in this video? I don't know the plans that was made amongst the adults, amongst the older people to pick us up. They'd already dropped us there. I don't know the plans that were made among the older people to pick us up. So I just know that I finished classes on that day and there was nobody waiting for me and my brother to be picked up. So we were like, obviously we played with other children that attended the classes until everybody had left. So me and my brother, we were just alone, just the two of us left in the school compound, in the whole school compound, waiting. And then as a child, obviously I became bored, and I think I said to my brother, let's go outside and go and stand outside and wait for whoever is coming to pick us up. I feel like I also knew that it was my father's assistant that was coming to pick us up. In my head, I feel like I have a memory of knowing that he was the one that was going to pick us up on the day. So I said to my brother, let's go outside and go and wait for him. So we went outside the school compound. So we were out of the school compound, but just standing in front of the gate, waiting for him to come get us. So we stood there waiting for him. We were waiting, no sign of him. Waiting, no sign of him. And then I decided, let's cross over to my sister's friend's house. And for whatever reason, on this day, nobody was in that house. Like, they were all not around. Maybe they traveled, maybe they went out. But we went there and the gate was locked. So we went back and stood there and waited again, waited outside the school. I'm not sure how long we waited, but for a child, I think even if it was a short wait, the attention span of children is really, really short. So for a child, I think, and again, I just said in this, did I not just say that I'm not very patient. I like to move on from something and just move into another thing. So if I had this trait as a child, maybe I waited for long, maybe not, but yeah. We went back and then we waited, and there was still nobody to pick us up. And then my church is not very far from... Actually, there was a lot of places that we could have gone to from this school. My mother's family house is not very far from the school. My sister's friend's house is not very far, and then my other sister's friend's house is not also very far. But I think in my mind, just from what I can remember, I think I told my brother that because it had gone dark, it was about, by this time, after waiting for so long, it was about like 7 p.m. We come back from our normal school at about past 2:30 is when we come back from normal school, and then we go, I think this class starts from, it's either 3 to 5 or 4 to 6. I think it's more 4 to 6 than 3 to 5. So we come back from normal school, eat, relax for a bit, and then go for these other classes. And then after these classes, we go back home and, I don't know, do whatever, homework or whatever. So yeah. But then it was getting dark. If you know Nigeria, you know that it gets dark about, I think it gets dark in Nigeria from about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm not sure if it's still if things have changed, but I wonder why things would change anyway. So I think it was getting dark, and because it was getting dark, as a child I was just like afraid a bit, and I thought like it's getting dark. I was getting worried. My little head was getting worried. So I said to my brother, let's go to church. Chances are that my dad is attending evening mass, because my dad is a frequent attendee of evening mass. So I said, let's go to church and see if we'll see my dad in church, so that we with him. Our church is also not very far from this place. Like everything is just around. So me and my brother started going to church. We just started walking, and in our head where we were going to was the church. And even to get to the church, we had to cross a very big express road. But in my mind, my plan was that we were going to use the overhead bridge, because there was an overhead bridge there. My plan was that we were going to go across the overhead bridge and like get to the other side of the road, so we didn't have to cross the road. That was my thinking. I don't know. I was only 8, so I don't know what to make of this sort of thinking at the time. So we were just walking. I don't know why I didn't think to go to like maybe my mother's family house or to this other of my sister's friend's house, but my first thought was church. So we stood there, after waiting for so long, I decided, okay, let's start walking to church. So we were just walking to church, walking. And as we were like coming this way, there were people coming in the opposite direction. And once we got closer and closer to the people, someone just called my name and said, "Oh my gosh, what are you guys doing here? Where are you going to?" And it was like, the surprise of seeing 2 children that at that time of the night. I think it must have been maybe 7 or 8 at this time. But yeah, he was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you guys doing here? Where are you going to? Why are you alone at this time?" Just a lot of things. I'm sure he knew where we came from, but he must have been wondering, why are these children still here at this time? So it was the other friend that lived up the road. And then we said to him that we finished classes a while ago and there was nobody to get us, nobody to pick us up. And then he said, "And you're going where?" I said, "We're going to church to see if my dad is in church, so that if he came to evening mass, we'll follow him back home." At this time, there were no mobile phones in Nigeria. Ready? No. I don't know. I don't even know. But we didn't have mobile phones or anything. So like there was no way to communicate with anybody. So he said, "And you're going to church by yourself?" I'm sure it was just a bit, or he was just thinking, what are these stupid children doing? Or he was just, again, well, even if he says stupid children, foolishness abounds in the heart of a child. Children are just very, very foolish. But yeah, he said, "Okay, let's go. Don't worry, we'll go. I'll take you home." So he took us to his house, and then he said goodbye to the people that he was walking with. He said goodbye to the people that he was walking with, took us to his house. We said hello to his siblings, I remember. He gave us water to drink because we were like waiting for so long. And then he said, "Let's go home." So he took us home. But on our way home, the reason I say this is the crux of this video, he kept saying to us, like when he took us to his house, between the time he took us back home, and between the time he found us and when he took us back home, he just kept saying that, "Do you know what could have happened to you this night?" And I kept thinking, no, I didn't keep thinking. I was like, what could have happened? We were just going to church. He said, "Someone was behind you when I saw you. There was a guy tailing you." That was the time I knew what tailing meant. Like the man was just at our tails and obviously maybe waiting for an opportunity to grab us when the street must have gone quiet. Like that sent chills down my body, because I thought I was being a smart child. So when he said, "Do you know what could have happened if I didn't see you?" I said, what could have happened? We're just going to church. And I was just such a child, smart mouth child. So he said someone was telling you, a guy was really behind you, walking very closely behind you, and as soon as I saw you, he turned around. I would never know if this is true or not, but I don't see any reason why he should have been lying, because I don't know. Why would he be lying to us kids? Maybe to put fear in our body or something, maybe to instill the fear of God, to never walk alone. But then it wasn't even our fault. But then we got home. When we got home, he didn't even take us like straight home. He took us like two houses before ours and stopped and said, "Okay, go home whilst I'm still watching you." So he stood there and watched us, and we went home, and then he turned back around and was leaving. But when we went home, my dad's assistant wasn't there. Apparently, like, he went to get us, and then it just begs the question of, when did you actually go to get us? Like, when did he leave to go and get us? Did he really forget us there? But when we got home, my dad's assistant wasn't home, and my mom saw us and said, like, why are you guys here? Because obviously they've just left, or not. I don't know if they just. My mom saw us and said, who brought you home? And we told her that it was my sister's friend that brought us home. And she said, you know, the person that they sent to go and get us is not back didn't come back with us. Like, what happened? Where is he? But he eventually came back and said, oh, he got there and he didn't find us there. Again, begs the question, when did you leave the house to go and pick us? Like, is it my mother? Is it my parents that forgot us? Is it? But again, I know that I knew from the start of the day, or that he was the one that was supposed to get us. So if I'm not going to any of my sister's friends' house, it's definitely him that was coming to get us. So yeah, who forgot? Is it that, was he engaged in other stuff and couldn't come to get us, or what? I don't know. If there's anything you take out of this video, just be careful with the kids. Always make plans. I can't remember if any of my family members remember about this story or not. I really don't know. I really can't tell if they still remember, but I remember, so I'm telling the story. And you know, that's the end of the story. Let me know what you thought about the story, or let me know if you've even had any similar encounter. I really can't talk. Let me know if you've had any similar encounter. Let me know if, you know, if you're a parent, if you've forgotten your child somewhere. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked the story, and share my video. Don't forget also to subscribe. Very, very important. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.